Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to enter data into your clinical log. This is fairly similar to what you were doing for your class log. It's actually quite a bit more simple in my mind than what you were doing there. There's just a couple of things that need to be entered in a fairly specific way for them to come out right for you. So there are only 2 pages to this, unlike your class log, which had 20 or 30,000 pages, it seemed like. This is the first page, which is your summary. It's going to show you up here just some overall big number items. So you can take a quick look at where you are on your assessments, your IVs, your evals, and your clinical hours. This is also where you're going to log your individual clinical shifts. And then there's a second page where you're going to add the actual skills that you performed during those shifts. You want to add your shift first because it will auto-populate the date onto the next page for you. So how you're going to do this is you're going to start here. We're going to say that I did a clinical shift today. It is March 21st, 2017. The clinical site is a drop-down list. These are our clinical sites. So pick the one that you worked at from there, and then the unit pod is also a drop-down list. So here you want to choose where you were at that facility. There is an other option because I understand you will sometimes end up in places that maybe aren't here. But most of your time is going to be in the OR and the ER to begin with, and then moving on to some of these others. So ER time. This is where I want you to enter data in a fairly specific format. In order for this to register overnight shifts, you need to enter your start and end times in an AM/PM format. So if I started at 7 a.m. and went till 3 p.m., that's how I would enter it. It will auto fill it out to this time frame. If you started at 7:30 a.m., that's how you would want to enter it, and it's going to put your hours in here. Also, if you started at 11 p.m. and went until 7 a.m., you'll notice that it does correctly enter in the 8-hour shift that was. But again, try to avoid entering 24-hour time here. Just enter the time with the AM PM after it, and it's as simple as 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. or however you want to do it. Okay. Once you have your shift entered here, you come down to the skills log, which is the second sheet of this. This one is a little bit longer and a little bit bigger than the other one, but this is the only other page that you have. The windows lock in place, so it makes it pretty easy to fill out the data that you're working on. So you can see right here I'm working on, it automatically entered the shift that I'm working on, the one that I just entered today. So this is the one that I'm going to be entering data for. All the way across here, this is simple as just adding the number of that skill that you performed. So if you got a preceptor evaluation, you put a 1. If you were evaluated by your preceptor, you put a 1. If you did 2 general medical assessments, you enter a 2. And then if you had a trauma assessment, you enter a 1. So on and so forth. You're going to come right across here entering everything that you did. You can make sure that you're on the right line by lining up the field that you want to enter as close to the corner as you can. As you scroll down, you'll be able to just keep running across that top line if you want. So we can say I did 4 IVs, I gave an IM, and I interpreted an EKG. So there you go. Once you've got that information entered, when you come back here, you will see that this has updated. That's pretty much all there is to it. If you guys have any questions, you can always email me, and I hope class and clinical are going well.